Hi, everybody. This is Gail, and welcome to my live stream tonight. We're going to talk about my new service dog. I said I would give you all a 1 week update, and here we are. Just a couple of days off of the 1 week, just because that's how the live streams fell. Anyhow, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you've not already done so. And if you have subscribed, I want to say welcome back. It's good to see you. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. It has been really cool this past week, so I'm going to fill you in on that. Also, before I forget, check out over at Valerie Reese, where it's all about the adventure. Tuesday, I'm going to be your special guest. She's going to be interviewing me about some of the things that we're doing for the kids who have been impacted by Hurricane Helene. We are a year out and a few weeks, and there is still a lot of need. You know, I was able to announce on a broadcast a few weeks ago that we finally got everybody out of tents. So, yay! But you know, we're getting point where Christmas is coming, and we're trying to get things for the kids for the Christmas, trying to get things to keep them warm, trying to get just basically what the kids need to have a good Christmas. I've had several people asking if anybody's going to be giving away turkeys this year. I don't know. These are the families that are asking me. I've had people ask just all kinds of things, like if we're going to be giving out toys and things like that. Speaking of Valerie, it's all about the adventure. Hi, Valerie. She is right here. You see her in this corner right here. Yeah, she's there. Spider-Man the hero is here. Hi, Spider-Man the hero. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling better. Valerie, number 1 thumbs up. Yay for Valerie. That's awesome. Thank you all. Thank you all. And there's Spider-Man again. Spider-Man's right here, as you all know. So, drum roll. I'll be on Valerie's channel Tuesday, and that is at 7 p.m. And if I'm wrong, Valerie, correct me, because I'm quoting from memory, not my calendar. Spider-Man, I'm sorry. Ooh. I hope that you don't have to stay long at the ER. Live stream Tuesday night. Yes. On the channel. It's Valerie 9. We're going to be talking about the kids who've been impacted by Hurricane Helene. And Valerie has been hugely helpful to get so many things. Hats, scarves, gloves, socks. So muchness. And we appreciate Valerie. Also, Maureen Rule is helping me out a little bit. She sent a donation of $100 earlier today. So, going to go toward toys. We have 60 kids, and these specifically are kids that were impacted by the hurricane, not the general community. There are some general toy giveaways that are coming that are really going to take care of, the general community. But the kids who were impacted by the hurricane have different needs. Like they're more likely to need the socks and to need something to stay warm. Things like that, that, the regular giveaways can't do. And yeah, plus the other giveaways, the kids are getting the toys right then. And if they get the toys right then, that's great. But what goes under the tree? And that is where we're coming in. So we're able to help with some of that this year too. Valerie says, yeah, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I was right. My calendar this week is crazy. Yeah, I've got to go to the vet. I have to take him to the vet. I also go to the doctor this week. Okay. Let's see. Wednesday, y'all know Peter told us last week that he was in hospital, not feeling well. I have to. No, let's not die because my kidneys are bad. We're just going to keep praying that they figure this out. I'm not hearing the negativity. We're just going to pray against that. Pray against that. It's what we can do. That's what we will do. I got to move my hat too. So, 1 week with a new doggo. Did you all see his picture on the thumbnail? Let me share this with you all. Just give you. He has just got a sweet personality. There we are. That's my new babe. He is a Bernese Mountain Dog. He can get up to 135 pounds. We don't expect him to get quite to that, but pretty close. He's a rambunctious guy. The first couple of days, you could just tell he had all that hyper energy. This is actually among his first couple of days home. We got back in town yesterday. So this is his official home. So he's trying to get used to that. I'll fill you in a little bit on how that's going. Want to get back here to the chat. The dialysis not working for me very little. I don't like that. Peter, I wish that I had some kind of wisdom that I could impart to you. We're just going to keep praying, like Valerie says, right there. And hey, we've got Busy Lady in the house. Hey, Busy Lady. Hey. But yeah, going back to Peter, we're going to keep praying for you. There we go. So, okay. It has been so interesting bringing in. Busy Lady says, how is everyone? Did something happen to Pipsy? Pipsy has developed like a hip problem. Well, he's had it forever. It just really came to light after we had been here, after I'd had him for a little while. So I really haven't been able to use him for mobility. Now, Pipsy is spot on when it comes to blood sugar alerts, seizure alerts, things like that. Pipsy is like the perfect dog. But I didn't get him for those things. I got him for mobility. And the problem is he's just such a small dog that I really haven't been able to use him for mobility. And even if he was a bigger dog and I could use him for mobility, then he still has this kind of hip issue. So that is out. So nothing like that for him. So what we're doing is he is transitioning, doing what they call a career change. Now that I have the new guy, and he is going to be a therapy dog. So Pipsy's going to be able to get to go to shelters, nursing homes, any place where there's a crisis, to help people feel better. For him, the benefit is he's going to get to be petted, and he is just going to love that. Absolutely love it. But we really have seen the need since Hurricane Helene came in for a therapy dog. We had several sides at the school and just lots of things going on in addition to the hurricane. So Pipsy, my sweet little lab, is going to be doing that transition. My husband will be going in the spring to be able to be listed as Pipsy's official handler. Right now, I am listed as the handler for both dogs. So, and I really want to thank you all for helping me come up with a name for this guy, because over on my Facebook page, we had a bunch of people give input on his name, and Sir Fluffy won. And so that's what we're going to call him, is Sir Fluffy. And I really like that better. Just saying. But I have to tell you, it has been such an interesting thing seeing this adjustment between the two dogs, because Pipsy has gone from being the only pup to having a sibling. And oh my gosh. Busy, we're keeping him. So it's not just that we'll be able to see him, we're keeping him. And that's why John is going to be listed as his handler after the spring. And I'll just be the handler of Sir Fluffy. Um, and I'm really excited about that. I think it's the best of both worlds. The downside is, and this is the only thing I can think of for the downside. The downside is that we have the upkeep on both dogs, and if he does eventually need surgery, we're going to be on the hook for that. But I think it's worth it. My husband really has bonded with Pipsy. I mean, we both have. I mean, we've had him since June of 22. So we got him about a month after getting our grandbaby. So we've kind of bonded there, and it's been such a strange, like, deja vu coincidence here in some ways, because we got Pipsy and went to New Mexico to my grandbaby's house because she had just been born. She wasn't released from the hospital yet because that didn't happen until August, but we had tons of things to do. So I got him. I did come home for a couple of days and then back on the road going to New Mexico. Then now with Sir Fluffy, we got him and we went to New Mexico from there. How are the dogs getting along? Let me show you this picture. It is so funny because part of the time everything is great, but we're seeing a side of Pipsy that I haven't seen before because of Sir Fluffy. So what happened in this shot, I hope you all can see it. What happened here was I took Sir Fluffy out to take a break, left Pipsy inside alone, unchaperoned, because it was only going to be a couple of minutes, and he has never torn a toy apart before. So Sir Fluffy takes care of his business. I come back to this. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And what you were seeing are the remains of Sir Fluffy's toy. This dog is smart enough. I am sure he knew exactly that he was getting Sir Fluffy's toy. So, this next picture. So, okay, we learn about repentance and being sorry as adults, right? So, let me show you the next picture. Yes, in this, he has annihilated the toy. It used to be this nice brown alligator. Entrails of the alligator, as you can see, are all over the floor. Now, does this guy look the least bit remorseful? No. And it's the first time he's ever done anything like this. So I come in, stuff is everywhere, and I'm just like, oh no. So I went ahead, I brought Sir Fluffy in, I put him on a down. I look at Pipsy, I just shake my head, I go get the broom. In the meantime, Sir Fluffy has found the remnant, the last remaining remnant of his toy, and he's just laying there chewing on it. And Pipsy is still just as unrepentant as he can possibly be. This is totally not his usual personality. He doesn't usually chew things up. So, yeah, so we've had some moments like that. It's just been wild. And then it's just like kids, right? And then I look at them a little while later, and Sir Fluffy has been tethered to me most of the time, okay? So I let him off of my waist because I needed some space to move around in, right? So I finish what I'm doing in the kitchen. So I get the dishes done and I go back in the living room because they had gotten really quiet. I got nervous when they got quiet. Okay. So I go back in the living room and they are both cuddled up side by side, just getting along fabulously. And I'm like, I would have used a bad word, but I was out of them at that point. It's like, oh no. But they have done pretty well. Pretty well. I'm not going to complain on that. And it's been that way from the first moment that they've done pretty well. So this is the picture of it at the mall when we did the public access test. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. And you can see Pipsy's little expression on his face. He's not the happiest guy, but he's doing okay. And of course, there's Sir Fluffy, and he's just eating it up. I don't know what he's trying to say in this picture, but he's got a really expressive face. Let me see if I can get them both in. There you go. And over here with Pipsy, you can't really tell, but he's kind of laying funny. And that's just because of his hip. He's got a patella issue too. So yeah, so that's him. But they've been getting along pretty good. Pretty good. I have him, because he's not in here with me, like Velcroed to me. He's in the other room. He's actually crated. So next week, I can show you lots of photos, but until he gets really acclimated to me, I'm really not sure. My husband had to step out, and I'm really just not sure it's a good idea to just let him roam and romp. But if my husband gets back in, I can holler at him and ask him to get Sir Fluffy out. And the new dog's name is Sir Fluffy. That's what won over on the Facebook group when we did this whole, you all submitted names and then you voted on names and you all picked the name out, which I appreciate. And yes, I did run out of swear words. Yes. I know that's hard to believe, given as many as they are in the English language, but I think I said every one that I knew and a couple in bad Italian. Let's just say that. But he's a pistol. He's in some way, he's like a cross between Tomlin and Pipsy. Tomlin being my first service dog that got into trouble now and then. Seem to enjoy doing that. So hopefully this one won't be kind of as bad. But yeah, I'll show you a couple more photos of him. Here we are in the car, coming on our way home. And here they are at the hotel. So what we did was the first couple of nights, I spent at the hotel, just me and Sir Fluffy bonding. Pipsy did come over a couple of times because we wanted them on neutral territory when they first met. That just sets the dogs up for a better relationship, lessens the likelihood that there's going to be problems. There's still going to be problems periodically, but this just lessens it at the beginning. So Pipsy got to spend some time with my husband, just the two guys hanging out, and Sir Fluffy was with me, and that helps the bonding with Sir Fluffy and I, Pipsy and my husband, and like I said, lowers the likelihood of, long-term problems. So yeah, so they were doing well, but I had this funny moment. So we decided that we would not pre-purchase a crate and bed, that we would wait until we got Sir Fluffy and we could gauge his size, because he's not a small dog. He is going to be able, he's going to grow. Some of them reach 135 pounds. We don't think he's going to be quite that much. We think he's going to max out at 125, but still, it's not a large dog. I mean, not a small dog. So my husband, while I'm in class, he says, hey, I don't have anything to do in Kansas. I'm just here hanging out and doing paperwork for work. So I'll go get the crate and I'll get him a dog bed. And I'm like, make sure you get a dog bed that's big enough. Okay. Yeah, I will. No problems. I'll get a dog bed that's big enough. You don't have to worry about it. I know how big of a dog he is. I give you the dog bed. So Sir Fluffy is using it as a pillow. So that's what happens when Dad buys the dog bed. I probably shouldn't have let him go shopping unescorted, right? So this picture, he's actually sitting down, okay? Do you see that tabletop underneath his chin with him sitting down? Yeah, that's going to be fun. It's actually already gotten him into trouble. So I'll fill you in on that. But yeah. On the room below us, we're really appreciative. And one thing I really appreciate is the folks that were on the room underneath us. We're also getting a new service dog that day, that week rather. But yeah, hopefully that'll give you an idea about how they're getting along. But he is you missed him on Facebook. I'm so sorry. But he's a Bernese mountain dog. So kind of similar to the St. Bernard. They're smaller than the St. Bernard. But same area of the world is where they were developed. I'm going to bring this up right quick. I'm really excited to get him. I really am. He was donated to the program. And it's just absolutely, he has got this really sweet personality, but at the same time, he's got a little bit of mischief in him. So I am going to have to watch out for that. But he's so expressive. And earlier today, oh my gosh, I'd left him so I could go bring something in from the RV. So set him up in the RV, which is what we've been staying in. Okay. Set him up in the RV and I'm feeding him. And then I step out long enough to bring something from the RV into the house, which is not far. Okay. It's like 2 car lengths because I'm unloading it. And I come back and he's standing at the RV door, kind of like, how could you leave me? And then I'm like, okay. Go back to eating. Put him back, gave him an okay, told him now. He got started eating. And so I think everything's okay, right? So I pick up the other bag of laundry, head back in the house with it. And I turn around and he's standing at the door. His poor little, like his ears are down. And he had just this heartbroken expression on his face. So I found out that the only way he'll eat is if you're standing in there with him. So, your rooster's crow. Oh, wow. He is. He really is. They're nice looking dogs, but they're also a lot bigger. So Pipsy weighs usually between 60 to 65 pounds. Now, where he doesn't get as around quite as much, he may creep up to like the 70-pound range, but then we have to bring him back down. Yeah, this one right now is 100 pounds. And if he goes to the 135, obviously he's going to double, or even the 120, he's going to double Pipsy's size. So it's really interesting. It's interesting the way the public reacts, because we've been going out every day since I've had him, just because he's going everywhere with me. And it's really interesting. People say, "Oh, what a cute dog," and they'll start talking to him, and then as they're talking to him, they're actually not reaching out to pet him; they're backing up. And with Pipsy, it was, "Oh, what a cute dog," and I'm like pulling him back, going, "No, don't pet the service dog." But this one's not been as bad, which is good, because you don't want to pet the service dog. You don't actually want to stick your hand in front of any stranger dog's face, right? It's not ever a good idea. So, yeah. But he's just a really large dog, and he is about 26 inches up to his shoulder right now. So he's really tall. And all of the Bernese have this really cute coat that's black and white and rust scattered throughout. Now, and like Tomlin, he's going to love the cold weather, because that's what he's bred for. And last year we had like so much cold weather, right? Because it was completely crazy. We had in January, like when I fell and broke my back, we had below zero temperatures and snow and ice. We had snow about 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene came in, which was the end of September. So I guess a little over 2 weeks, actually, because the Red Cross was here on the ground for 14 days and closed the shelter, which I won't get into that because it's like pet peeve there. We had snow scheduled for that Tuesday. So they leave on Saturday, snow that Tuesday. So yeah, so just a little bit after that, we had our first snow. So he is going to be in his element. And so, but I'm having to watch him pretty close because somewhere along the way, I don't know if it was prison, I don't know if it's social home, or exactly what happened, but somewhere along the way, he has apparently gotten into people food, specifically chicken tenders. Those are like his kryptonite, okay? But even with that, I'm having to watch him because also apparently he likes chocolate. And I find this out when we are in New Mexico. We are at my granddaughter's house. I've just made chocolate cookies for her. So I took the 2 cookies and put them on a plate. I'm trying to get her settled. And she's like, of course, I want something to drink. So I step into the kitchen, literally the next room. I have him untethered from me because I don't want him in the kitchen while I'm cooking. And I keep going back and forth. Okay. So 2 cookies on a plate, give them to her, step into the kitchen in the next room to reach for her milk off the counter. And just as I pick it up, I hear, "No, bad dog." And I turn around and I go in there, and I am just, he is up. It's like one of those funny movies where the dog is up on the table with his 2 paws leaning over. You've seen this scene a million times in the movies where the dog is helping himself to something on the kitchen table. So I come in, he hops down, and I'm like, "Drop it," as he's swallowing the cookie. And no, they can't have it. And yes, Valerie, I am completely with you on the snow. But chocolate can be very bad for dogs. Now, I'm in New Mexico. I have no idea where the freaking vet's office is. I don't know if there's a good vet where we are or how they are. And my daughter, who would know, because she used to work for a vet's office out there, is in meetings, and I can't get in touch with her. So I sent her a text message. Sent her husband one too. And I'm like, I need an emergency vet. Oh, and by the way, I have my granddaughter. I don't know how to hook up her freaking car seat. But the other thing that I realized at that moment, because nothing is ever simple in my life, I realized at that moment that I left my purse apparently at the RV. I have no idea how I did that. So, okay, so I've got the dog that's eating the chocolate, a car seat I don't know how to hook up, and I don't even have my purse, so I don't have my driver's license in it. And my husband was there. So I'm like, okay, you watch the baby. I'll watch her first. You go to the RV, down all the way down to the campground, grab my purse, come back. I'll look for an emergency vet. And it was just like this whole big thing. So looked it up, found a vet, not an emergency vet, but they could see me immediately. Thank God. They were so nice. 40 minutes away. So by the time I get there, this chocolate cookie has been in his stomach for just over an hour. And I'm like, oh my God. By the time I get in there and get seen by the vet, now they had vet techs coming in to check on him. But by the time the vet got in there, he had this in his system for 2 hours. I was like inwardly freaking out. I had just contacted the service dog program maybe an hour before he got into the chocolate saying, hey, I need some help with trying to break him from people food here. This is kind of a problem. So I'm at the vet's office and I'm like, about what I said earlier, I'm here at the vet because he's now eating chocolate. The vet, when she came in, she was like so nice. She looked him over. He was okay. Fortunately, being 100 pounds and just having the one cookie, he was okay. But I did find out that they don't want you to induce vomiting unless you're at the vet's office or like literally on your way, at least in Bernese Mountain Dogs. I don't know about other dogs. I'm going to pull up a picture here of the vet's office with him. So at least with Bernese Mountain Dogs, apparently you don't want to make them throw up because there's this thing that they can do with their stomach. And it actually can go from throwing up to the point of death really quickly. It sort of folds in on itself or flips or something. I don't know, but it's an emergency. So they don't want you to start that process unless you are basically in the doctor's office or a vet's office or on the way. But there he is. There we are. His first visit to the vet with me. And it would be an emergency. I mean, why not? And there he is just hamming it up like, okay, I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm just going to hang out now. Mom's going to freak out any minute. And I'm just going to hang out and let her. But he was okay. And the vet, she was so nice. And all she did was she charged me like $40-something to come in and look at him. And she checked out his paws to make sure he didn't have a burr in his paws, because New Mexico has all of these. If there is a plant with a sticker on it, or I'm talking about thorns, or a bush, or a cactus, yeah, it's in New Mexico. So she checked his paws for me and all of that and everything, all of that checked out. And the only thing she could say, about him was, watch out for this, and this. So basically any kind of gastrointestinal bug. And she's like, how does he usually act when he starts to get sick? And I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Has he been acting different than usual? I don't know. This is on Monday, okay? I had just gotten him on Thursday. So it was a little crazy. But in the meantime, all of this is going on. The program is messaging me back saying, hey, you don't have to go to the vet because of how much he weighs. He only had one cookie. It was watered down by everything else you added in the mix to make the cookies. So you're fine. Yeah, $40 too late. So he's a pistol. I'll definitely be keeping. I have a piece of ice. Anyhow, I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on him because he's too smart for his own good. He knows how to get out of the crate. So I had to go out and buy. I have a travel crate, right, that I use for Pipsy. But no. We can't use that with him because he has now figured out how to get out of the travel crate. So we had to go buy a wire crate and we put him in that. And then, like, all night, what am I hearing? I'm hearing the rattling of the latch. So he's trying to undo that latch the whole night. It's not going to take him long to figure out how to do this. So we've got the double latches, top and bottom. So, and my husband's in there putting it together right now because we didn't have space in the RV. Because when we got the RV, we didn't have a service dog. And we certainly didn't have two service dogs, with one of them being larger than a miniature horse. Legit, he's going to weigh more than a mini horse. But he's so sweet. Now, he's still learning me, so he hasn't done any kind of alerting. And that's not something that they can teach a dog. They can expose them to the scent samples all day long. But whether or not he can alert actually comes out of your bonding with the dog, because he has to be able to learn you well enough to know what your normal is and what your normal isn't. So, yeah. Oh, and as far as size, let me show you this picture. This is like a grandmother showing pictures of the grandkids, isn't it? Since I don't have them in here, this is the best I can do. But if you all can tell, he is standing on all fours and his head is up to my hip. So that's how tall he is. And he's pretty broad. So I don't have the problems bracing and balancing with him like I would with Pipsy. I've never really been able to use Pipsy as a mobility dog, which is what I got him for. So this one I can. So that may give you an idea. And then here is Pipsy and my husband. And my husband, of course, is taller than me. But you can see even with this picture that he's just not there. My husband's about 5 inches taller than me. So his hand is about where his hip is, and Pacer is nowhere near that. But if that gives you, an idea. But he did great traveling and can't complain, because the poor dog, I don't know what the mileage is. I'll have to look. But from Southwest Virginia / Northeast Tennessee, because I live on the border, to Kansas, to the Concordia, Kansas is where I got him, down to south of Albuquerque, and then up to here. That was our total trip. He was in it from Kansas to New Mexico back to home. He's already got a lot of miles under his belt, and did great. Absolutely great traveling. I was looking for another picture, which I didn't see, so sorry about that. Oh, here we go. I found the picture. Here's the one. You can see more on this one, I think. Yeah, there you go. He in this picture, he's sitting, and my right hand is at my hip. My left hand is scratching him underneath his head, underneath his ear on his head. So he's actually taller than my hip when he's sitting. So, yeah, there he is. I felt so bad for him too, because I was telling him the other day, I was like, sit, 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 because I was trying to maneuver my hands, and I was like, sit. And I felt like he wasn't sitting, but actually he was. Oops. But that's him. And that's how tall he is. So he's a good size. This Wednesday, we have his first official visit to the vet. They're going to check him out and, make sure his ears are all clean and stuff. The other vet looked him over real quick, just basically as part of making sure he wasn't sick from the chocolate. So his first official visit is Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to, just having him checked out more. And I did tell the program, I said, look, if he's got any kind of hip issue, he's coming back. It's not going to matter how much I love him at that point. But if he's got a hip problem, he's going back. I'm not going to watch another dog go through what I'm watching Pipsy go through. I'm just not. So, yeah, but I won't know that for a couple of months. Because with Pipsy, one of the things was that the hip problem doesn't show up until potentially 2 years. So he's at 18 months. In a couple of months, we'll know, or we hope to know, to have an idea. Because hip issues are serious. And of course, if he's got a hip issue, then like with Pipsy, can't use him for mobility. But I can already tell you he's an amazing dog. You can tell he's intuitive because he is trying, to get to know me. He'll come and he'll just, get up from where he's tethered and just put his head on my knee. And we had his first trip to a church today, and that went really, really well. It was for a meeting. And he just laid there and did what he was supposed to. And one of the reasons that we went to New Mexico was to see my grandbaby in her first recital. And it was so cute. So the place, though, is she's in a small town. And there's not a lot to do. But the dance group that does this is big in the town. It's really, really popular. So they rent out an auditorium from the college. It was absolutely packed to the gills. I am estimating there was probably around 650 people, 600, 650. And we were standing in lines everywhere, and the whole thing was just packed. And there are benches along the wall, which is where we were. And there he is, just laying on the floor, paws crossed, just hanging out. And I did find out in that environment that if you ever need to hold a seat for somebody, just don't even bother. Just let the dog lay on the floor, because then nobody's going to step over him. I promise you. He's like his own miniature obstacle course, just laying there. So, yeah. So if you ever need a seat held, get a Bernese mountain dog to just lay on the floor in front of it, which means you'll have to invite me along, right? But such a stressful environment. I mean, here he is. I've had him for 2 days at this point. This is on Saturday. His first full day with us was the day before that. And he's thrust into this crowd. So we're all like staring at him, like monitoring for any kind of signs of stress or anything like that. Didn't bother him at all. So he did great. So that pretty much brings everybody up to speed on the first week of his life with us. Pretty adventurous. Pretty adventurous. So hopefully it'll be a little less traumatic. Hopefully it's what we're hoping for. Or not traumatic, chaotic, I should say. But Wednesday, let's see, Tuesday, I've got the live stream with who? Valerie Reese. It's all about the adventure. This lady right here who doesn't want any snow, and we don't either. Her channel, 7 o'clock, she's going to be interviewing me. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that we are doing specifically for kids who were impacted by Hurricane Helene. We're going to get them their Christmas, take care of that, and I'll be talking more about that on her channel. I don't want to give out too much of that because I want you to tune in. I will see about putting, if it's okay with Valerie, I will see about putting some clips maybe up on my channel too. So you guys will have an idea, and then you can, little teasers so you can go back to her channel and watch the replay. Hey, Burger Sleuth is in. Hi, Burger Sleuth, and welcome. Good to see you. So thank you for coming in. I hope that you are having a great weekend, even though this is the last few hours. I hope it's a good one. Hope it's been good. So just brief rundown. We're going to be doing some Christmas stuff for the kids who were impacted. Also, Valerie has gotten us some socks and some warm weather gear because they do need that. I was really not anticipating them needing as much help this year. When we did Christmas last year, I thought, well, they're going to be well on their way. In a year, they're not going to need more help with Christmas or toys. Famous last words on that one. Because, they still need help. They still need a lot of help. Like I said, it's only been about 3 weeks to a month ago that we got the last families out of tents. And we are Northeast Tennessee. We're not Western North Carolina. And we tend to not have as much coverage as Western North Carolina does. So I'll be on Valerie's channel Tuesday. Wednesday, he's going for his first vet visit. I'm going to the doctor. Thursday, I get to go see Valerie. And she's going to give me what she has for the kiddos. And we're going to record it. Don't worry. We'll get you covered on that. And I have a meeting tomorrow where we're going to be talking more at the meeting about the kiddos and about some of their needs and how we're going to be trying to meet those needs. It's going to be interesting. Oh, you don't have to buy me lunch. But thank you for the offer, but I hate to impose. I don't know yet if John can go with me, so we'll see. But it looks like I will have my little Bernese Mountain Dog. Now, if it works out and John does go with me, I'll have to bring the trailer. So I hope we can find parking for it. Just because they take up the entire back end of the car. Back seat, back hatch area. It's all dog. It is all dog. So thank you. I don't feel like you have to, though. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't want to be a burden on my friends. And you're doing so much with the socks and everything. And I also, I appreciate it. I also want to mention Maureen Rules. She's been on this channel before, and she gave me $100. So, yay for that. So, I'll get to buy some toys with it. So, I know there's 60 kids. I don't know for sure like what the breakdown is specifically. I know it goes from newborn to late teens, but I'll be getting that breakdown tomorrow at the meeting. So it's going to be such a busy week. And then our church has the annual bazaar, their annual event. That's on Saturday, and then rolling into regular church on Sunday. And then we're going to be talking about, what other ways can we help the community right now? Because our governor is not helping fill in the gap with any of the food stamps. We do have Second Harvest. They're going to come up and bring an extra box, which the food stamp thing is driving me crazy partially because it is disproportionately affecting our folks who are recovering from Hurricane Helene, because so many of them that are still recovering are also receiving food stamps. Now, Valerie can tell you, I mean, she's been here. She's seen the lay of the land, so to speak. And while we have moved forward, the jobs that we lost due to Hurricane Helene are not coming back. So that has plunged people into difficult circumstances that had jobs before, and then the spin-off jobs and some of the businesses have closed and things like that. So we already had a high poverty rate, and it's gotten worse. So when you hear that SNAP benefits are cut off, and I'm not going to pick either side. I am mad at all the politicians, state and federal, for letting this happen, and my governor for not tapping into rainy day funds to help fill the gap. I'm just mad at all of them. So anyway, our church is going to be talking about, what can we do to help these folks? So it's just going to be a really busy week coming up, and I am eager to see how Sir Fluffy is going to handle it. I have a feeling he's going to be fine, but so we'll see. We'll see. And thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything. I really do. Really do. So, yeah, so that's pretty much how it's gone this week. It's gone well. And next week, I really hope to have him pop in on the live stream so you all can see him. Because I know that's on everybody's minds. What is he like? What is he doing? That, and of course, how is Pipsy handling all of this? And Pipsy is just, you saw it. You saw the remnants, the entrails that were left in my living room. But as far as his job change, he's going to do great. He is just going to do great. We had him at the church meeting after church. We had him out of the car, and he got to be petted. So he just thought that was the most wonderful thing going. So that part of it, the dog's job change, he's just going to love it. Now, if all goes well, and I can get some music, when Valerie does the interview with me, she's going to be interviewing me at 7:00 Tuesday night, Eastern time. For those of you all who are in other time zones, it's Eastern time. We have a video that I made of several of the clips that we did in the past year in the post-Hurricane Helene time period. And Pipsy features in several of them. So you all will be happy with that if we get to play it. We're hoping. If not, you got to join the Facebook group to see it. So that's kind of just how the week went. Getting there one day at a time. I'll be eager to see how he does at the vet's office as far as height and weight. I know he's going to handle the vet fine because he just handled the vet fine. He just stood up, let her listen to his heart, then flopped over on the ground and did his best to kind of put his belly up in the air to get his tummy rubbed, which is hard to do when you're in a mobility harness. So, but he's awesome. He's just awesome. But he does take up a lot of space, which is okay. That's what we wanted. So, yeah. So I'll give you all another update. I don't know if it's going to be later this week or if it's going to be Sunday night again. So, yes. I know, pretty sure I can send you the links to it. And Valerie's asking, do you want to meet a bit in advance on StreamYard to see if you'll be able to show the pictures and videos? Yes. 20 minutes in advance? 30, 10? What do you think? And hey, those of you who are in here, please give me a like on the live stream. That really does help. When YouTubers say it helps, we're not just kidding. It really helps. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. So yeah, let me know just what you're thinking about. How early? 30 is probably good. Okay. So I'll be on at 6:30 then. Don't forget to send me the link. My only hesitation is I don't have StreamYard, so I don't know if that's going to impact what I can show. But I can send you a link to Google Photos so you can access that and show it if I can't. So one way or the we're gonna figure this out. Two smart gals like us, we can figure this out. That's what we'll plan on anyway. So I just really appreciate you. Because I did not think this far out of Hurricane Helene that we would still be dealing with the issues that we're dealing with. But that's just the way it's going. And they've said it can be 5 years to recovery. And I didn't think it would take that long. But now that we're a year into it, I can see how it's taken that long. And so one of the reasons why I'm so excited for Pipsy to do his career change, he is staying with us. But after the hurricane, with the Red Cross shelter, the cold weather shelters, the stress that people were under, being able to go into the Johnson County Long-Term Recovery Group warehouse, being able to do that with Pipsy and see him make people smile and see that stress for that, couple of minutes at least kind of dissipate just a little bit from what they're dealing with every day. It's more than a good feeling. It's like knowing that you're doing good for somebody by having this dog who is a social butterfly, for lack of a better term, and anybody who's been around will tell you what a sweet dog he is. And so it's going to be fun though, because so many people want to pet the dogs and they've always wanted to pet Pipsy. And now I can say, don't pet the big one, but you can pet the little one, so it's good. It's all good. So I'll send you the link, Facebook. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, all right, you all. Well, I try to keep this to an hour to be, a good steward of your time because I really appreciate you all coming in. I do this at 7:30 on Sunday nights. So come back and hang out with us. But don't forget to come over to Valerie's channel. Let me pull her up. And she, by the way, she's going to be going to Peru on a missions trip. So follow her too. But it's Valerie Reese. It's all about the adventure. That's her channel. 7 p.m. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Valerie's channel. She's interviewing me about the stuff here. So thank you all for hanging out and have a bodacious week because we're all about being bodacious, which means you're not going to let life get in the way of living. Even though it's going to throw you a curveball, we'll work around it. Okay, you all? Thanks so much. Valerie, I will see you 6:30 for in prep for the live stream at 7 on Tuesday. So thanks for watching. Give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to share. See you all next week here at 7:30, Valerie's channel, Tuesday at 2 o'clock. You all take care, okay? Good night.